Because yes, I like that also. Okay. Harris, the floor is yours. Your 15
Awesome.
minutes of fame. I know you have a limited time, so happy to have you here. You may kick
Awesome.
off.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. So I have till about 9:25. Is that right? Or 3:25 your time, Stefan?
Yeah.
Cool. Perfect. So hello, everybody. My name is Harris Fanaroff. I am here to talk about onboarding with you. I want this to be a conversation, so please do use the chat. Stefan, if I miss anything in the chat, please just call it out, interrupt me as I'm going through. I have some content that I want to take you all through, talks a little bit about the importance of new hire onboarding. I have helped to onboard over 3,000 people. So this is a area that is a big interest for me. I have a lot of expertise and a lot of knowledge in here, and I'm excited to share that with y'all. So let me share my screen. You all are able to hear this? Able to see this?
Yeah.
Oh. So let's get started here. So topic for today will be new hire onboarding made simple, effective, and efficient. So first off, let's get into what is onboarding and why does it matter? So I like to refer to new hire onboarding as the process to which new hires get integrated into the organization. It includes all the activities to help you learn about the organization, its structure, its culture, its vision, mission, and values. The better we can get somebody onboarded, the quicker they can be productive for us, which leads to the higher ability for them to stay with us over the long haul. We know how hard it is to keep employees with us. So it's so important to be able to do that effectively, efficiently, and in a timely manner. So what I've done over the past year or so is try to figure out what are some of the biggest mistakes that I see companies make when it comes to new hire onboarding. I think especially in the remote world, if we're hiring somebody and they have the skills or knowledge for what that is, we assume that they know what to do. We assume, hey, they've been in this industry for a while, or they've done sales before, they've done marketing, they definitely know how it works at this organization. Definitely a big mistake that I see companies make, no matter what type of knowledge they have in that specific role, it's going to change based on the organization. Second one here is not giving them a buddy or mentor. I think there is huge research out there that shares that our new hires will feel more engaged, more connected to the organization when they have that buddy or mentor, someone that's been there a year, 2 years, that can help them get up to speed, get up to running well. Number three happens all too often, and the manager really is so crucial and so vital in making sure that that new hire stays at your organization and is productive. So you have a manager who might have a lot going on that doesn't have the time to be able to support and to help that new hire. Number four, I love doing this at the beginning of a new hire's tenure. You very often ask people this question in the interview, what makes you want this job? But very rarely do you document that answer. So I'm really big into asking up front, what brought you to the organization? What's going to keep you? What motivates you? What's the best praise you've ever received? And then number five, I am a huge believer in 30, 60, 90-day goals for new hires. Very often we just give somebody the go ahead and we don't necessarily create those goals and make it so we know whether they're being effective or not. So these are the top 5 biggest mistakes that I see organizations make. We'll be going through in today's presentation the different ways that companies attack these goals, make sure that they don't happen inside their organization. So I want to do just a 30-second exercise here. What does your current onboarding consist of? Think of the last new hire that joined your organization. What was their experience like? If you can't think of this, think of your own experience joining the organization. What went well? What did it feel like? What could have been improved? And I'd love to get people to share a couple different ideas in the chat pod if we're open to that. What went well? What did it feel like? What could have been improved? Let's get a couple answers here in the chat pod. Think of your own onboarding or the last onboarding that you did. What went well? What did it feel like? What could have been improved? Yeah, great one. Happens all the time. We get the orientation, but not necessarily the onboarding about our specific role. Really good one. 20-day onboarding structure while energy was often flowing away. Elaborate a little bit, Stefan?
Yeah, we have. I make great plans, but most of the time you're so busy, so sometimes you forget to really make time and to really follow up. So I'm benefit of this myself. So now I'm hiring other people to do it.
Smart. Whole onboarding process took too long. Really good ones. Thank y'all for sharing. We'll keep going through here, but please keep adding and we'll keep moving along through here. So onboarding is important. Obviously, I believe that I spend my whole career in it. It's the thing that I'm focused on. But why? Why does it matter? Onboarding matters. There are a couple statistics that really share that really mean a lot to me, ones that I really see having a big impact on organizations. So a fourth of your employees will leave their companies due to pre and onboarding issues. And we'll get into a little bit about pre-boarding and what that means. There's an 82% improvement in retention because of good onboarding. That first impression matters so much in our connection with personal friends and personal people that we meet. I would argue the same occurs for your business. So important to make that first impression be strong. 90% of new hires' decision to stay is influenced by onboarding. So if you bring in somebody on new and you have a poor onboarding experience, your ability to keep them at your organization is severely harmed. 18 times more likely to feel committed when onboarded well, and 72% say they have the best possible job if they have exceptional onboarding. The statistics are there to talk about the importance of it. I am on a mission here to make companies to focus on this more because it helps us make our new hires productive quicker, keep them in seat, and overall make them happier, which is going to make our organization more productive, more revenue at the end of the day. So this is how I think about onboarding, the 5 C's of successful onboarding. One of my favorite exercises to do with an organization is we will write down all 5 of these different. We'll write down camaraderie, connection, creative, care, and compliance. And we'll say, what are you doing uniquely at your organization to create a sense of belonging? What are you doing to help people build relationships with others? Maybe you're giving a buddy or mentor. Maybe you're setting people up for virtual coffees or in-person coffees. How are you being creative? Are you sending a swag pack and asking your new hire to take a picture of them and send it to the team? How are you providing that sense of community? And then finally, there's obviously the compliance aspect. Are you making sure the compliance is not taking too long, all forms are signed in the same place, and you're making this as easy as possible? The 5 C's of successful onboarding that will help your people to be integrated effectively into the organization. I mentioned this before, but pre-boarding. So that time from when a new hire accepts your offer until day 1 is very often a missed opportunity for many organizations. They spend all this time interviewing, finding, trying to make sure that this person shows up. They finally get the yes, they sign the document, and then nobody talks to them for the 2 weeks or the month or 2 months before they show up. Such a missed opportunity. There's a good chance that they were also interviewing with other organizations. And if those other organizations are continuing to reach out to them, it's no guarantee that they show up on day 1. There's a statistic out there that 1/3 of new hires accept and then don't show up. Such a big missed opportunity to not focus on that time from acceptance until day 1. They're so excited. Keep that momentum going. Let's talk a little bit about some ways that you can do that effectively. So what does good pre-boarding look like? Some of my favorite ideas here. The manager calls and emails to congratulate the employee on the new offer. Such a big one. So often overlooked. You find out that person says yes. Manager should call within 24 hours. Hey, Stefan, we are so excited for you to join the organization. Can't wait for you to get started. Call them within 24 hours. Talked about this one a little bit in the beginning, the motivation survey. You probably asked this in the interview phase, but you need to document this. What brought you here? What will keep you here? How can I best support you? You want that person to start to feel integrated and a part of the team, so they hear from different team members. Send scripted emails to those individuals. If possible, get your CEO to send a video via LinkedIn, via text message saying, hey, we're so excited for you to join the team. Easy place to store and sign the necessary forms. I love sending swag as part of the pre-boarding aspect. And then everyone's favorite, IT equipment confirmed and sent on time. I can't tell you the amount of times I've talked with organizations where they did not get their computer on time. So much wasted time of productivity that unfortunately goes out the way. A little bit, some ideas around pre-boarding and how it can be effectively integrated inside your organization. How I like to think about onboarding is there's the HR side and there's the manager side. HR side has a lot to do with the forms and compliance and tax documents, but really when it comes to integration to the organization, productivity, it's the manager. So the manager plays an absolutely enormous role in onboarding and pre-boarding, and it's HR's job to arm the manager with what they need to be effective. Different things that I like the manager to do in the pre-boarding phase: welcome to the team, define your first day, share relevant articles. The manager needs to use that time between acceptance and day one to build that connection with your new hire. And you do that with some of these different ideas. 6 pieces of information that you can use to get from your new hires. I love asking right when they join, hey, send me your bio, headshot, and a fun fact. Send that to the team on day one. Mailing address if you're going to send swag, career goals, how they like to be recognized, what motivates them, and then little things that end up making a pretty big impact. What's their birthday? Put it on your calendar. Make sure that you're not forgetting that. It can have a really big impact into making them feel connected, engaged to your organization. So usually if I have a little bit more time, I will go through this poll with individuals. These were the 4 biggest ones that I've seen companies go through. What are the hardest part of onboarding for your managers? Remembering to keep connecting, lack of time, knowing what I need to do, understanding how the new hire feels. All things that you want from an HR side to make sure that your managers are focusing on and ensuring that they can help with. Key steps and milestones, what you need to be doing as far as onboarding. Winning day one, so you finally get them in the door, they've accepted, you've done a great job with pre-boarding, you get them in on day one. How do we make sure that they do that effectively? Block the manager's morning. Nothing more frustrating than when you start on day one, your manager is busy all day. Ensure IT is available. No doubt they're going to have some type of issues with their computer. You want to make sure someone is there to help them. Set up meetings with new team members, prioritize who they should be meeting in the beginning of their tenure. Give them a list of the first 10 people they should reach out to and schedule with. Provide lunch if they're virtual. Send them a gift card for lunch around them. Provide them an easy win. I think this is so often an undervalued aspect of onboarding. What does an easy win look like for this person that you're bringing on? What's going to help them to build momentum in this role? What can you get them excited about? So if it's a sales role, is there a client that you can get them on the phone with that you know loves y'all and will talk with anybody that's new? Really good way to start to build some momentum and then help them to determine benefits. I'll talk very quickly about this one. I'm a huge fan of buddy or mentor programs, some tips for picking the right buddy. Do they have similar personality? Are their interests outside of work the same? Do they like the same sports team, like the same movies? And then where do they want to get better? And can that person be the right person to help them get there? So different ways to think about buddy and mentor programs. I know I am getting up on my time, so I'm going to be relatively quick here. Huge fan of 30, 60, 90-day goals for new hires. So one of the things that we do in our company is to help organizations set up 30, 60, 90-day goals at scale. So I believe the first 30 days should be about learning, the next 60 days should be about contributing, and the last 90 should be about owning. What we do is you put in your email address and the job description, and then we will create for you a customized 30, 60, 90-day goals that either, if you're the manager, you can use, or if you are HR, you can send to the manager. So I know I'm getting up on my time. I just want to go quickly through the next couple here, but just some different ways that I think about HR and the manager and everyone's role in onboarding. And I'll make sure that Stefan gets all these slides to send out with you. And then finally, just a little bit about me and my organization. So we do 3 different things at Activate. One is we are a monthly retainer sales coach. So we meet monthly with your sales reps to help them find new opportunities, close more deals, and sell with emotional intelligence. Each sales rep will get an hour with me or a member of my team, and we work with them on what are the biggest issues that they're facing and how can we help them. Number 2, I just mentioned this. We have 30, 60, 90-day plans at scale. We've created an AI tool. I know that a lot of this conversation is around AI to help your managers do this and hold them accountable for hitting their goals. So essentially, you just put in your manager's name and the job description. We create this for you. It takes us about 5 minutes, and you have what you need to hold them accountable. And then finally, we have a 6-week new hire onboarding ramp-up program. This can be done one-on-one via coaching, or we also have a course to help your sales new hires be able to be onboarded effectively and quickly. So those are the 3 different services that we have. If you are interested, I'll put my email in the chat, harris@activateonboarding.com, and I'd love to talk with you. And with that, I will stop sharing and turn it over to Stefan.
Great, man. That was fluently. Very nice. Thanks. I got a question before that comes in. Any questions? Let me look how I can get my screen back. I'm gonna fit you to the frame. So yeah, okay. Is this visible for everyone? Hey, I always like to divide an organization with tech and touch. In the near future, what we see, we love to automate everything, but you can make a difference with a touch, and that's your story. How can you, if you look at the process, how can you optimize the process with using GenAI? Harris.
So I think I agree with you 100% that there is the tech and there's the touch. What we've done with our 30, 60, 90-day plans is the AI creates it very quickly. We've put in 5,000 different 30, 60, 90-day plans that this can go through to be able to create you the best possible one. So we quickly create you 30, 60, 90-day onboarding plans. That's the tech. The touch is we want to know how you're doing. So we are sending at 1 week, we're sending a survey. At 30 days, we're sending a survey, 60 days and 90 days to say, hey, how do you feel with how your onboarding process has been going? How do you feel about hitting these goals? And we're gathering feedback and data. And then we are taking that data and information and sharing it with the overall team and saying, hey, your people aren't getting enough training on the product, or they're not getting the opportunity to meet enough people. So that's the touch, is making sure that they are getting what they need. And the tool is giving us that data. So that's how we integrate both of those as part of what we're doing at Activate.
Great, great. I see a lot of compliments coming in. I think a lot of organizations could definitely learn from this. Thank you, Harris. Is named by Cecilia. And I saw also another one from Lisa. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Very insightful. Yes, we'll, there was also a question from Jelle who said, hey, are you going to share the slides? Yeah, well, surely we'll share them, of course, with all the details and his number in it. Are there any other questions? At this time? Okay, yeah, great. My onboarding as a junior manager was unstructured and haphazard, lack of information, lack of role definition. Yeah, I think most of the people know, see that. Do you think, Harris, do you think this is an important issue of organization, why the retention is so high, but also why people really don't connect with an organization anymore?
I think most companies don't know how to do it effectively. They don't have a process in place to onboard individuals effectively. They assume that people just know what they're doing. And I think especially in this remote world that we live in, it's so important to build that connection early. If you don't do that within the first 3 months, realistically within the first 6 weeks, that person will go find another job. It's never been easier to look for another job. You have to build that connection early. And then you also want to get them up and running and productive quickly. I mean, the more time it takes them to become productive, the more you're wasting money. So I think the more that we can tie the importance of onboarding to the financial aspect of it, the more companies will start to care about it. And I'm seeing more and more companies do that, but it's definitely taken some time and some education around why this matters.
Good, good, thanks. Yeah, I believe, and I see an old colleague of me, and very important when I started way back, Barry. Hey, welcome here. Hope you're back from Tenerife. I always said, most of the organizations have a vision or a mission on the wall. I don't believe it. It's your DNA, or it is your DNA or not. So you always have to act on every element. I think Barry can agree on that. We love to have the DNA high to bring real values to the organization. Hey, If there are not any questions yet, I was surprised how this was happening in a non-profit structure. Any questions for Harris? Sorry. Yeah, great. Thanks. I really love that you joined our session today. Yeah, we're gonna share everything and speak to you soon.
Thank you, Stefan.
Have a great day. Christina.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how are you? Are you still finding your
Doing fantastic.
camera?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not, I don't know. I'm supposedly the director of tech and I can't get my camera working today. It's just